Long, long ago, it is believed that in the beginning, when there was only emptiness and darkness everywhere, and nothing ever existed, the world was first created by the three great spirits, Kayum Rasi Yongmo, Kayum Sede Yongmo, and Kayum Sengor Yongmo. The earth, thus created at the very beginning, was a watery world which was filled with water. The three spirits who had been flying around the world got tired and decided to find a place to rest and stay on the earth. They first separated the skies from the land, and on the land they formed the first mountains and valleys, rocks and the plains. But all the land still remained submerged underwater. As there was no dry land for them to stay, they decided to call upon a spirit, Kayum Ramyang, also known as Irsimite, by others to dry up the excess water on the earth. The bright eyes swept the earth and created the light which lit up the mountains and plains, and the energy which radiated from both the eyes ultimately dries the lands. Thus was created the dry lands. The lands were kept dried as she kept her vessel in between periods of rest when she would close her eyes, and this created a balance of day and night. However, after some time, Kayum Ramyang died, and the earth was once again plunged into a deep darkness, followed by the great floods, which once again flooded the lands. So the spirit Resi Yongmo and Raman Yongmo, after a consultation, took out the eyes of Kayum and pinned them to the skies, and the lands once again awash with the light and heat of the eyes. The water soon dried up, and the lands became habitable once again. Soon after, the living organism and the creatures of the earth were created, who began to live and flourish on the new habitable lands. According to the legends, the two eyes called Bomong and Bo were the first two suns that began to circle the earth. There was no night and day, as the sun follows each other one after the other, and the heats that they gave out was so intense and strong that the lands became drier and harder, and the trees and the grass began to wither and shrivel up, and in no time the rivers and ponds began to dry up too. A famine-like situation now began to plague the earth. Many living beings began to die of hunger and thirst because of the drying up of their source of food and the waters in the rivers and lakes. Panicked and worried, the creatures of the earth, who found the extreme heat of the two suns unbearable, come together and conspire to kill one of the suns. Atuteklung, the frog, was given the responsibility to kill one of the suns, which he set out to do so from the tops of the bamboo tree, with his bow and arrows which were prepared from the trunks of wild banana tree. He climbed up to the topmost tip of the bamboo growing in a grove and waited for the suns to rise. He then let fly his arrows and managed to shoot and injure Bo, one of the suns, and then ran away fearing the wrath of the suns and hid inside the clumps of bamboo trees, where it still lives to this day. The injured Sun Bo and the other Sun Bomong, angered at the attack on them, refused to come out until they were avenged, and once again there was darkness on the earth. The creature of the world now had no option but to try and recall the suns back, as the darkness was even more worse than the day. So they sent the crow as their emissary to try and placate the suns and plead with them to rise again. The sun first refused, but after several pleadings and cajoling, the sun agreed to rise in return for the lives of the creature each time they rose and said. The crow took it upon itself to agree to the proposal, and therefore it is said that there is death in the world today, and the crow is blamed for it. The sun thus rose again, but the injured one was much weaker and therefore shed a lesser light and heat than the other one. So the stronger sun was named Doying, and the weaker one as Polo. They began to rise alternatively, Doying the sun during the day and Polo the moon at night. Thus was created the sun and the moon and the balance of the day and night. Doying is considered to be a female and Polo a male, and therefore the Adis call the sun Anadoying and the moon Abu Polo.